See, I seen your stuff on social media, boy, I know what you do, but you do it for play. If you do it for real, here it is, Kevin. I got a show at your hometown in Philly. I'm gonna take my special there. On that stage, we can put whatever you want. A full court basketball court, a boxing ring, 2 microphones for a rap cipher, or you can get your ass dusted in comedy on that stage. But it's $1 million up for each one. That's $5 million, Mr. 28 million in Forbes. I'll be bringing mine in cash, Mitch. Bring yours however you want. And since you're not a puppet, don't bring no white people with you then. That's a $5 million bet individually. You can take it all, or you can take it part and parcel. This is the new movement. Hey, and tell them plastic cup boys, we make enough money to drink out of real glassware.
Check it out and check it out, because you come at the king, you best not miss, man. Alright? Now, let me say this. 2 of the funniest guys in comedy, to me, are Kevin Hart and also Katt Williams. Now, let's distinguish the difference immediately, because I think everybody would agree, at least all the real niggas, and I know real niggas is in the comment section. Shout out to the notification gang. Now, if we talk about comedians, a lot of people usually say Katt Williams is way funnier than Kevin Hart. Now, the thing is, Kevin Hart is way more successful than Katt Williams. Why is that? Now, if you listen to Katt Williams recently, he says Kevin Hart got a hand up his ass.
And so I've already proven that if the best they got in comedy is Kevin Hart, don't you boo a black man working hard, baby. What happens to Kevin, I wish him the best. I just know that somebody's hand stuck up that baby. You understand? So we in a puppet show, but will please believe it. You too. And that I was able to do it without letting a man suck my dick or sucking a man's dick. I walked in with a virgin asshole and I walked out with a virgin asshole. I got the same soul today that I had.
Not on some gay, like, transgender or Bruce Jenner type of shit, but really some type of, like, program like, yo, the white man got him, it's the Illuminati. Like, that's usually the excuse you hear people say when a black person becomes successful, right? Now, Katt Williams even went on further to say, yo, I want to challenge this motherfucker. I'm going to be in Philly. He's from Philly. Let's get on the stage. We could play basketball. We could fucking box it out. We could have a roast off. I put up money. Let's get some $5 million on the line. We want to battle. Now, let me just say this about Katt Williams. And then let me also say this about Kevin Hart first. Kevin Hart, he is not a funny comedian. Now, you might say, oh my God. Now, let me check it out. Okay? To me, I've always thought this. He's not a funny comedian and stand-up. He's a funny actor who does comedy. Okay? Now, the distinction to you might be like, nigga, ain't that the same thing? But to me, when I see him on stage, he's acting out a role. He's not really just being exuberantly funny. He's not just being naturally funny. He's just kind of acting out a funny role. So pretty much he writes this great character and he gets on stage and he pretty much performs that character. That's it. Okay? As opposed to Katt Williams, he gets on stage and you could tell he's just a funny guy just in general, just naturally. Sometimes you're laughing at him and he hasn't even got to the joke yet because he's just funny. Kevin Hart is a funny actor who does comedy. To me, Katt Williams is just naturally funny. Now, does it take anything away from Kevin Hart? Absolutely not. Because I think that has translated for Kevin Hart into him getting a bunch of movie parts. Now, let's go back, right? We got to see and we got to talk about and recognize that Kevin Hart, he's pretty much doing the same fucking role in like every movie, right? For the last couple years, he's playing the same role. He's the annoying black midget who is funny. right? He gets with like a white guy. He gives a little spark. He's like the little comedy relief or comedic relief. He gets with even Ice Cube. He's a comedic relief. He's always the fucking comedic relief. All right. Now you can even tell with Ice Cube because look at Ice Cube. Remember when Ice Cube was paired up with like Chris Tucker? Chris Tucker, I think he went on some drugs. He went away, right? Then we had Mike Epps come in, and him and Mike Epps did a couple joints Friday. Remember also All About the Benjamins. Then something happened to Mike Epps. He went away. Now Kevin Hart is here, and Kevin Hart's here for Ride Along. He's doing all this shit, and Kevin Hart is that guy right now. So when people see someone so successful for so long, you automatically start thinking he's too much in the system. Now, people might think he's not that funny. I actually thought that Kevin Hart has changed his jokes. He used to be barbershop funny. If you listen to him probably about 8 years ago, when he used to do a lot of radio show interviews, I heard it one time on the Fox show with Jamie Foxx. Fucking hilarious. That's when he was barbershop funny, which means if you're in the hood and Kevin Hart comes through, he'll roast every fucking body, right? But nowadays, his audience is expanded. He's not only doing Paper Soldiers anymore, he's doing movies that are pretty much watched by a bunch of soccer moms with their white kids. So he has to change his jokes to not only be culturally relevant to only blacks or niggas, he got to be pretty much universal. What that usually does is water down shit. So I'm not even going to be fighting with people and say, oh no, Kevin Hart's just the funniest guy. I think he's still extremely funny, but of course his content has changed. His stand-ups to me are still funny, but I've always said he's not a funny guy naturally. He's a guy who can act funny. Hope you guys get the difference. So, Katt Williams, he is basically coming at Kevin Hart. Now, I don't see a problem with that. Listen, heavy is the head that wears the crown. If you come at the king, you just better not miss. Now, do I think in a joke off, a comedy roast or whatever, if they were going to battle, which will never happen, by the way, Kevin Hart is just way too high to even really respond by saying, oh yeah, meet me in Philly. It's not going to happen. But if it ever happened, I think Katt Williams would win. But what Kevin Hart's going to do, and he's done this to many other comedians before, including ones that have criticized him, including Mike Epps, including Ariel Spears, and others. He basically takes the high road. He takes the mature route. He takes the route where he's actually explaining how he got to his position, how he is actually not trying to keep down other comedians, and basically want others to succeed. So he makes the person who is talking about him look salty, and he handles these problems quite well. So it's not really going to go anywhere, but it's kind of exciting because we all like a kind of feud. We want to see the people who we think are the best go at it, but they're not going to go at it. Truth be told, Katt Williams is just more naturally funnier than Kevin Hart, but the thing is, Kevin Hart got his shit in order. And by the way, about the puppet thing, that's not true because Kevin Hart's own production company produces all of his stand-ups, so he's more independent than most of these guys who basically got to go to HBO, Netflix, Showtime just to get a stand-up produced. Kevin Hart does it on his own. So who the fuck is the puppet that got their hand up his ass when he's doing it himself? But people don't want to hear that somebody's doing good for too long. That's what it is. Now, for Katt Williams is fucked up, okay? And a lot of times he tries to blame his fuck-ups on saying he's not being controlled. Dog, you just slapped the clerk at some gas station. Come on, man. That's not being controlled or you're being free. That's being fucking stupid. You got arrested a bunch of times. That's being fucking stupid, right? When you had your opportunity to do movies, a lot of people say you were uncooperative. A lot of people say you weren't the guy that would be showing up on time. You weren't the guy that was just a charm to work with, okay? Now, maybe you think actually signing a deal with Sony or whoever to do a movie and actually cooperating with the rules or the shooting schedule that they have is actually being a puppet. But if that's what you call being a puppet, you're pretty much talking like your Dame Dash and 99% of the people out here with a regular job who got to show up on time, who can't just be quote-unquote free, they're a puppet too. So that's what I think it is, man. Katt Williams, I believe he's insanely funny. He's one of the best talents we've ever seen. But that's no knock on Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart got to his success by working hard, and he outworks all of these dudes out here. And he does his thing. He's kept a sane mind. He never let the money get to his head. He stayed grounded, and he keeps working. Now, do I want him to switch up the roles? Yeah. But hopefully over time he does it. If not, he'll be just a niche comedian doing these movies, and then he'll host like award shows, and that'll be it. But he got to do something eventually that's transcendent, that brings him into the category of even a Chris Rock and even someone like Will Smith or even Jamie Foxx. Hopefully he gets there. But right now, Katt Williams, you haven't even gotten half the way, at least in making movies that Kevin Hart did. But you're saying he's being controlled by a puppet master. I don't know. It borderlines on hate and also borderlines on actually wanting to challenge the top guy. You guys be the judge. Get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like, definitely subscribe. I'm out.